One day, the CEO of a client company said there was something she wanted to talk to me about, and I headed towards her office. Miss Shiho Hasakura, who was the CEO of this company, came jumping towards me, my name's Yota Amane, by the way, out of nowhere. Whoa! You scared me there!
Ow!
Jeez, that was quite the sound.
Ow! Oh, why'd you do that, Yota?
I'm sorry, I just reacted and...
Well, I guess you're just gonna have to take responsibility for this. You'll have to join our company.
I believe that was your own doing, so I will politely decline.
Excuse me? That was a very serious tone, wasn't it?
I don't know why, but for some reason, Miss Hasakura, the CEO, seemed to really like me. Of course, it's not like we were former classmates in high school or anything like that. I'm sure I would have never forgotten someone this beautiful if I went to high school with her. But even so, we're both 27 years old, and this is a little bit too childish. Well then, what did you want to talk to me about?
You are always so quick to change the conversation.
I didn't think there was much beyond that. Anyway, what's the matter?
Wait here 1 second. Here it is. Here, this.
Without much explanation, she handed me something. What? A photo?
Yeah, isn't she super cute?
Isn't this person you?
No, it's not.
No, the hairstyle and hair color are different, but it's definitely you, Miss Hasakura.
Well, I guess there's no denying that we look alike. Because this is my younger sister.
Sister? Is that why she looks so familiar?
Yeah! Hey, so would you be interested in a marriage interview with this girl?
What? But why?
You see, unlike me, this girl is a lot more quiet and shy, and she doesn't have a single male friend. And that makes me worried about her. So, I was thinking that you could be her husband.
What are you plotting?
Hey, now wait a minute, why are you doubting me? How awful of you.
I've known you for almost 5 years now. You're not the type to do something like this.
What? What are you talking about?
You yourself. Before you even talk about a marriage partner, you don't even have a boyfriend, do you? So why are you worried about your younger sister first?
Oh, you know, I'm pretty outgoing and social, so I'm pretty popular, you know? If I wanted to make a boyfriend, I could at any time. So that's why I wanted to take care of my sister, who doesn't seem like she has a chance, you know?
Well, to be fair, she was known as the unparalleled beauty within our company.
Anyway, more importantly, what do you say? Are you gonna meet her or not?
Let's see. I am 80 to 90% sure she has ulterior motives. Well then, I would be happy to meet your younger sister.
What? Are you sure?
Why are you so shocked?
Because it's you, Yota. So I was sure that you would come up with some kind of smart excuse and say no.
Well then, should I say no, as you expected?
No. I don't think it's very manly of you to take back your words.
Wasn't it you that just tried to make me do that?
Anyway, if you accept it at once, then now you have to at least meet her.
Yes, I know. I was only kidding.
Ugh, teasing me like that. You're so mean, Yota.
Oh, come on. Please don't pout like that. If that's it, I'll be getting back to my office then. I'm a system engineer, and I've been temporarily dispatched to Miss Asakura's company. This and that, it's been almost 5 years now. The CEO is a childish person, like her. But within system engineering companies, this one was actually pretty big and well known. That's why I've been at this company for so long. I continued working as usual, until the day of the marriage interview arrived. It was set up to be just the two of us without our parents, so I was waiting alone inside of a high-end restaurant. Normally it would be the standard manner to wear a suit to something like this, but I was told to come in my casual clothes, so that it felt more like a date. So I was currently in my everyday clothing. Well, I wonder how this is going to go.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting. My name is Shikusa Hasakara.
Nice to meet you. I'm Yota Amane. Miss Shikusa, is that right?
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you.
I see. Her name is similar to her sister's.
It's a pretty rare name, isn't it?
I think it's very beautiful. We sat down and lightly began introducing ourselves. It turns out that she was still in her 4th year of college. Once she graduates, her plan was to work under her sister, so that she could learn the business. I see. What happened to the calm and shy part? My impression of Miss Shikusa was that she was a pretty talkative young woman. She didn't seem calm or shy in any way. More than anything, I heard that she didn't have a single male friend, but she seemed extremely comfortable around me, as though she was very used to talking to guys. Well then, where would you like to go? After having been treated to one of the most amazing meals I've ever had, probably better than anything I'll ever have again in my life, we walked out of the restaurant, and I asked her what the plan was. Because I knew nothing about Miss Shikusa or what she might like, I hadn't prepared any sort of plan for the date. I figured it would be best to decide together, since neither of us knew each other that well yet.
Mr. Yota, what do you normally like to do?
I'm sorry, this is actually my first date, so...
No, I meant on your days off.
On my days off? Well, I guess I study programming when I have the time.
Oh, jeez.
No, that was just a joke.
Right, of course it was. I knew that.
She definitely just looked at me like I was serious. I do actually study, but I definitely don't spend the entire day doing that.
Studying even after you already have a job? Don't you find that tedious?
Well, believe it or not, I actually enjoy programming, so I don't dislike it at all. That being said, it's an ever-evolving world, and the progress is steady. So if you don't keep studying, it's easy to get left behind. As long as this is my job, that is something that I expected and need to keep up with.
I see. I didn't know that. That's really cool of you.
Thanks. But that was a very sudden change of mood.
I was just thinking that it's really cool how serious you are about your job.
This is normal, you know. It's the bare minimum that everyone does.
Did it make you blush?
I'm not blushing.
Are you sure?
Miss Shikusa, I meant to say this earlier, but you do look a lot like your older sister, don't you?
That's not true at all.
Are you trying to whistle? I don't think it's working.
Give me a break, I'm not very good at it.
Then why are you doing it?
More importantly, the beach. Let's go to the beach.
Wait, we're going to go swimming now? It's still the spring. It's not summer yet.
That's not what I'm saying. Do you think I'm that clueless? That's not what we're going to do. We're just going to go look at the beach.
Oh, I see. That scared me. I wouldn't put it past her to say something like that seriously. So I honestly thought she wanted to jump in.
Sheesh, you're a lot more oblivious than I thought.
Miss Shikusa, you were dropped off here, right?
Yes, my butler drove me here.
They really are a crazy rich family. I have my car in the parking lot right now, so we can go in my car if you'd like.
Sure. You know, this is my first time riding in your car.
Well, of course, because we just met for the first time today.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, I guess I got a little too excited.
It's okay. Well, shall we then? I started the car, and we got going. When it comes to the beach, it wasn't that close to the town that we were living in. Using the highways, we drove for about 2 hours.
Wow, what an amazing breeze.
We were nearing the end of spring, and summer was just around the corner, so the air was getting warmer and the sea breeze felt really nice. I hadn't been to the beach in years, so I thought it was a great idea to come here. It really is. It feels great.
Mr. Yuta, let's go closer to the water.
Your hand?
Oh, come on. This is nothing. It's okay, isn't it? to hold hands a lot anyway.
I guess in her mind, it was already decided that we were going to get married.
It's cold.
Well, yeah. It might be getting warmer, but it's still the spring. I'm sure the water temperature is still quite low.
But it still feels great. Why don't you take your shoes off and come in too?
No, thank you. We didn't bring any towels, so I don't want to get wet.
I also didn't bring any.
Oh! This person. She really is quite airheaded. Well then, I'm going to go buy some towels nearby.
Take that!
What?! I felt a splash of water towards me, and I dodged it!
Why are you dodging it?
If I don't dodge it, then I'll get wet!
I'm doing it so that you get wet.
Why are you getting mad at me?
Because what if someone tries to hit on me while you're gone?
The beach season hasn't started yet, so I don't think that there's anyone near the beach trying to pick up girls yet.
You never know that, because I'm super cute, you know? Even if they just happen to walk by, they might try to come talk to me.
How confident are you? Yeah, well, people do call her the unparalleled beauty, and there's no denying that she actually is really pretty, but still. So then, what are you suggesting I should do?
We're already here, so why don't you jump into the water with me?
And if I say no?
There's an even larger amount of water might be aimed towards you.
She's too insistent. I guess I have no choice. If she splashed a large amount of water and soaked me, I wouldn't be able to get into the car, so I gave in.
Just like a lovey-dovey couple scene in a manga. Should we splash water onto each other?
Please, definitely do not do that. There would be no point in me getting in the water then.
Boo! Mr. Shota, you're a meanie.
I don't care if that makes me a meanie. I'd rather that than get wet. Whatever. Anyway, when are you going to stop playing this game and tell me the truth, Miss Shiho Hasakura?
Yeah? What are you saying? I'm Shikusa.
I mean, were you really even trying to hide it? You were fully showing yourself from time to time, and even just now, that was fully something Miss Hasakura, the CEO, would do.
What are you talking about? We're sisters. Of course we're going to be similar in some ways.
Even the name, Shikusa, it's almost identical to your name, Shiho. It's just a play on words and the meaning of your name. It's just a code, isn't it?
How did you know? A normal person never would have figured that out.
When I first met you, you explained your name in depth to me. That Shiho is the name of a plant, but at the same time, it's also known as the plant of thoughtfulness and kindness. And Shikusa is the flower that comes from that plant, which is given to people when they want to say, "I'll never forget you. I'm always thinking of you from afar," or reminiscence, right?
Wow. Of course you remember all of that.
I think my memory is pretty good. Slightly better than average.
Well, then, is there anything else you remember? Is that all you remember?
What? Miss Hasakura, I mean, when I saw the photo of Shikusa, it did look very familiar. At first I thought it was because she looked identical to you, but that wasn't why. When I saw you in person, and the more we started to talk, I remembered, Miss Hasakura, when we were in high school, we've met before, haven't we? When I was in high school, I was working part-time at a cafe, and there was a high school girl who would often come. She would always order a black tea and a cake, and would be reading a novel by herself. She was a quiet and calm girl, but she was always very polite, and seemed really kind. She came often, so whenever the cafe was quiet, we would occasionally make small talk.
You remembered.
I'm sorry it took me so long to realize, but Miss Hasakura, you seem like a completely different person from that girl back then. In high school, a shy and nerdy bookworm who was always keeping to herself. Now, she's the CEO of a company, extremely outgoing, energetic, and fashionable. It was such a 180-degree difference that I couldn't notice it was the same person.
You see, I always like you, Yota. I started going to that cafe because I really liked the flavor of the black tea and cakes there. But the more I started to talk to you, I realized that I had fallen for you. To be honest, I wanted to tell you how I felt back then, but I couldn't muster up the courage. And by the time I felt ready, you had already quit your job there.
In order to study for college exams, I had quit my part-time job in my last year of high school. From there, I had spent all of my time studying, so I never went back to the cafe. But because of that, I never saw her again. I never could have imagined that this was the CEO's intention.
I regretted it ever since. I thought I should have told you how I felt earlier. But at the time, I realized I was plain and bad at communication, so you probably would have rejected me even if I told you how I felt. That's why I studied really hard to understand what it meant to be fashionable and likable, so that the next time I saw you, you would like me too. I was sure that I could find you anyway, if I hired a detective or something.
Wait a second. You just said something crazy at the end there like it was nothing.
But then, when I heard that one of our projects was about to go up in flames, I went to go see the situation, and you were there. I thought that was fate.
Ah, I see. So that's how I ended up staying at that company. At that time, I was dispatched to this company to figure out a solution for this project that was burning, and became a temporary employee. That's why, once that project was completed, I should have been transferred to another company to start working on a new project. However, my manager at the time told me, the CEO of this company wants you to stay, so you'll be here for a while, and left me designated to this company. The people I was working with seemed happy about the decision, so I didn't think too deeply about it. But I had no idea that that was the reason why. But then, why didn't you tell me when we were reunited about our high school days?
Because you didn't seem to notice me at all. When I thought about how insignificant I was to you, it made me mad.
She's so stubborn. I said it earlier too, but you changed so much that I don't think anyone could have realized. Plus, nearly 5 years had passed since we had last seen each other. But wait, you didn't even try to come find me, did you? Even if she had studied how to be more fashionable and asked a detective to investigate, surely she could have found me within those 5 years.
Because even if I did try to meet you again, I didn't know what I would say to you or how to start a conversation with you.
She's so complicated.
But I already decided that I'm going to give it my all. I put on the long, straight black hair in hopes that you might remember me that way. But I was going to tell you how I felt as soon as you remembered who I was. So, will you please go out with me? With the intention of getting married in the future.
But then, when I asked her about it, why did she try to hide it from me and do all of this? But I left that aside, because back then, I also really liked that girl. Maybe the reason why I accepted going on this strange date without thinking too deeply about it was because I was subconsciously remembering that girl from the photograph. That's why. Well then, I look forward to being your boyfriend, Shiho. I decided to accept her proposal.
Are you sure?
Yes, I also like you, Shiho. I always have.
Well, I look forward to being your girlfriend too, Yota.
And so, the two of us became a couple. If you're wondering what happened from there, Shiho moved things along very quickly and pushed for us to get married. We were both 27 years old, so she said she wanted to get married as soon as possible. Perhaps the reason why she moved so quickly this time, despite being so late to confess her feelings to me, was because she realized that she was nearing the age to get married. To be honest, I was a little bit flustered by how quickly things moved, but in any case, she was the person that I loved, and I decided to put our short relationship aside since we had known each other for years. Now, I'm going to focus on making her my happy wife.